Good evening, everyone. We are Group 05, and we're going to make a debate about general meat cause cancer. So, first of all, I need to know who of you strongly agree with this argument that general meat cause cancer. Okay, and who strongly agree with this? Okay, who is neutral? Okay, so no one is disagree or strongly disagree. So first of all, we have to know that the general meat cause cancer, and this is all about with this all starts with the WHO organization. The WHO organization is the World Health Organization that in October of 2015 said that meat cause cancer, and this was a controversial topic for other organizations, and especially in the United States, that didn't agree with this statement because there have been many studies that have rejected this idea of the thing that general meat cause cancer. Anyway, we have to know that this talking about general meat, we refer to chicken, fish, pork, horse, beef, lamb, and many of these animals. Anyway, also we have two people that are against this statement, and one person that is in favor of for the meat that cause cancer. So also we need to know that some studies said that the type of cancer that the meat causes is the colorectal cancer. So we're going to start with the debate, and first of all we have around 3 minutes to start with the arguments against the statement. So please start.
The first argument that I want to share with the audience is that a number of epidemiological studies have suggested that a link between the intake of animal protein and predisposition to cancers at various sites: pancreas, breast, colon, prostate, and endometrium. But there are many contradictory reports. A summary of 11 case control studies of colon cancer, 3 of stomach cancer, and 1 of breast cancer conclude that the available data do not provide convincing evidence that removal of meat from the diet will substantially reduce the cancer risk. That means that any study have been capable of proof that the cancer and these types of cancer and the consume of meat are related or have a relation. The products of the pyrolysis of organic material like polycyclic hydrocarbons are believed to be carcinogenic, but the most thoroughly investigated of these is 3,4-benzpyrene that is formed on the surface of barbecue and broiled and smoked meat products, and they think that this is the cause that can correlate the consumption of meat and the cancer, but it's not about the meat, it's about the things the people put over the meat for cook. I think that's the first fact that can prove that the meat doesn't cause cancer.
Okay, and what do you think about what he argues?
According to the World Cancer Research Fund, there is strong evidence that eating a lot of these foods increases your risk of bowel cancer, and eating processed meat can increase your risk of stomach cancer. The processed meat, which has been preserved by smoking, curing, or salting, or by the addition of preservatives like ham and bacon and salami. It's good to eat meat, but in little portions, not in more than 500 grams is bad for your health. It can increase the risk of having bowel cancer.
Okay, so do you have another argument about why does meat does not cause cancer?
Where we can also say that nutritionists have studied beef for since years ago, and they have established that beef is part of a healthy diet because it contains huge amounts of vitamins, minerals, especially iron and zinc, and meat is about 26 to 27% of protein. So they have established beef as part of a diet because there have been studies that shows that if we buy meat in the correct way and we know where this meat comes from, we are not going to have problems later on. Where we are having problems is in processed meat.
Okay, you were talking about more problems in the processed meat, right?
Yeah, in processed meat because of the chemicals that they use to preserve this type of food.
Okay, so what do you think about the processed meat? He's talking about that cause cancer. Is the more is the more consumed meat or product that affects the human body?
Where we already said there is strong evidence that eating a lot of red meat can cause a bowel cancer, as in the processed one. One possible reason for this is that the compound that gives red meat its color may damage the lining of the bowel. Studies also show that people who eat a lot of red meat tend to eat fewer plant-based foods, so they benefit less from their cancer protective coverings. We also have strong evidence that processed meats are cause of bowel and stomach cancer.
Okay, so most of all, she's talking about the main product, as I mentioned, is just the processed meat. But what do you think about the red meat? Do you think that it also is one of the main meats that causes cancer or not?
Not the main meats that can cause cancer. In certain cases, not all the cases are the processed meats, but we can know exactly if is this or is the bad diet that the persons that eat and consume processed meat have, because it could be anything that they eat, not only they consume of meat or the processed meat.
Okay, but
I read an article where it says that people that have cancer and they have been in a study for like 60 years, there is a big influence in the amount of vegetables and fruits that they include in their diet that help them to be healthier and to prevent this type of problems, because we have to remember that only eating meat we cannot obtain all the nutrients that we require for our daily living. We also have we need to have a different founds of nutrients, vitamins, and this.
okay, so eating healthier, not just meat, will help you to have like all the nutrients that you need for your daily activities. Well, so maybe this could be the an advantage to prevent having cancer if eating a lot of red meat or in general meat. So well, anyway, as we know, the processed meat can be only of pork, only of lamb, only of beef, and anyway, so I want to know if you know which one of them are the the product that have more effect on causing cancer. So maybe it will be like the red meat because, as you mentioned, it affects with all the ingredients that the company puts in these products. So also what it causes the main effect it will be the preservatives and all the colorants that people put into these processed products. So what do you think about it?
And I read something that says that it's a good source of the red meat is a good source of nutrients, including protein, iron, and zinc. So it's fine to include it. But if we exceed a percentage of eating just red meat, it will cause the same damage as we eat processed meat. And there's a large body of evidence that bowel cancer is more common among people who eat both red and processed meat. So they are like the same.
So, as she said, it does not have a difference between eating between the processed meat, the processed red meat, or just red meat. So, what do you think about it?
Actually, it's not the same because the FAO have named the meat, only the red meat as group 2 carcinogen food. Like it's probably can be the thing that make you have cancer, but it's probably. And the processed meat is that in group 1 of carcinogen food that are some studies that are more heavy and more credible that can cause cancer, but all the people, most of the people that have make these studies think that is because all the other things that mix with the processed meat, not the meat not exclusive the meat.
So, I have a question. As I mentioned at the start, at the beginning, not all the studies have been strong studies. So I think that maybe you will suggest that people need to make like further studies with this cancer because it haven't been more than 1 year from since World Health Organization have released their article. So what do you think about it?
I think that we need to make more investigation about this thing, but however, I think that eating meat is more positive than negative that can be because meat provides us a lot of vitamins and minerals that are not in the vegetables, and we need it for a successful balanced diet, and it's better eat meat than not eat.
Okay. Do you have another argument against or?
Yes, is that researchers, I know that researchers are still trying to pin down exactly how red and processed meat cause cancer cells to become dangerous. But according to the Cancer Research Organization in the United Kingdom, in red meat, the problem seemed to start when a chemical called HAM, part of the red pigment in the blood, hemoglobin, and is broken down in our gut to form a family of chemicals called and necrotic compounds. And these have been found to damage the cells that line the bowel. So other cells in the bowel lining have to replicate more in order to heal. And this extra replication can increase the chance of errors developing in cells' DNA, and this is the first step on the road to cancer.
Okay, well, do you have another argument against her or not?
Yes. We also have that meat have a certain amount of fat. They have been linking meat to colorectal cancer that is caused by consuming huge amounts of meat. But like I said before, we cannot base on a diet that contains just one ingredient, like they are taking meat as a one source, and they need to link more food to have a complete diet. Health organizations have traditionally recommend avoiding the higher fat cuts that come from beef, because they have found that maybe the huge amount of fat is the one in charge of the cancer, and not the meat.
Okay.
But there's a thing that cooking the meat at high temperatures, such as grilling or barbecuing, can also create chemicals in the meat that may increase the risk of cancer.
But
These chemicals are generally produced in higher levels in red and processed meat compared to other meats.
these have been linked to the thing that they leave the meat in cooking since until the point that the meat is completely dry, that it doesn't have anything, and the meat doesn't is like the same like the same quality. They are like cooking the meat in like too much, and there need to be like a moderate time in fire to reduce these high temperatures that react to these chemicals.
But there are other theories too that some researchers have suggested that the iron in red meat could play a role, while others suggest that the bacteria in the gut may play a supporting role.
Okay. Well, in conclusion, we have heard both sides, and well, from my point of view, well, the red meat, or also just the meat, does not cause cancer. It's just the way the people prepared it, or just the way the ingredients that they put into the meat. For example, in the processed meat, especially in the red meat, it's just with the way you prepare it. So I think that the only way to prevent cancer is just to regulate your consumption of the processed meat, more than the general meat. Because as we know, meat it's really important because the high percentage of digestible protein that we require. So anyway, this is the end of the debate, and I want to ask you again the same questions from the beginning, and I want to know who of you strongly disagree with the argument. Okay, who of you disagree? Who are? I think we're all. So anyway, thank you very much, and this was the debate for the argument for the statement that general meat causes cancer, and we are group of 5. And well, thank you very much.